Oh. This is the Podcast Studios, brought to you by Machine Inc. Welcome, everybody.
Katie, good to have you on.
Thanks for having me. I feel like a rock star today.
You're welcome. You are a rock star.
Woo!
Ever since I met you, you seem like you've been a rock star.
Wow.
Every day, actually. You are.
I'm getting a verbal award right now.
Are you?
Rock star. Okay.
You got the energy for it. I know that.
I hope.
I'm sure everyone that knows you.
Don't put me on the spot.
We know you got the energy for that. Not many people do.
Mm.
It's true.
I think you do.
Thanks. Yeah, I could scream until I pass out. I'm for it.
Is that what I do?
I hope so. No, I seen you dance and you move a lot and you're very exuberant and that takes a lot of energy and it seems fun and freeing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is.
So yeah. Well, I know that you do a lot with monkeys and I know when I first met you, and I'm sure I'm being insulting by saying monkeys.
Mm-hmm.
That was your kind of dream. You were like, I want to be with the apes. I want to be with the chimps. I want to make it to Africa one day.
Mm-hmm.
And that was kind of just such a huge thing to hear from somebody that seemed pretty legit. And now it's awesome to know and see you do things online.
Mm-hmm.
So I know you got a shirt on. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your shirt?
Oh, okay. Well, this is Connie, an orangutan. There's a special center in Wauchula, Florida.
Okay.
And it's called the Center for Great Apes.
Okay.
It's funny because originally I thought it was somewhere in Indonesia and I was teaching my students about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, this is a cool place that I want to travel to. And then I realized it was 25 minutes north from our school.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to bridge our school to this center, host some trips, and then get my West African drum and dance team to go and perform for the apes.
Oh, cool.
So that is like a big project I'm working on right now.
Awesome. So it just so happened you ended up to be geographically very close. Isn't that ironic?
Hey, come on.
You kind of, you got to feel like you're doing the right thing.
Right. And so, like, you know, I had been following Jane Goodall forever. I wanted to be her. I wanted to work with her.
Jane Goodall.
Jane Goodall.
That's where, and she spent a lot of time with, what's the
with
name?
chimpanzees.
Yes.
Not orangutans, chimps, but she was originally supposed to work with baboons.
Okay.
You read her stuff.
Okay.
And I ended up working with baboons in Phalaborwa, South Africa. Now, Phalaborwa is spelled, it's Phalaborwa. Yeah.
You're good. I was not even close.
I know, it doesn't sound like, it's not spelled how it.
Is this the place?
So the center, yeah, that is it. But the center that I worked at was called Riverside Wildlife Rehab Center.
Okay.
So Riverside Wildlife Rehabilitation Center, and if you type in Phalaborwa, then it should come up. But so there, I had been wanting to work with primates forever. But, you know, the chimp thing just wasn't happening. And I'm like, I found this baboon opportunity.
Yeah.
And I went, and this place is really cool because it's a rehab and release facility. So, you know, there are many adult baboons in semi-wild enclosures getting ready for release.
Okay.
So they hang out in semi-wild enclosures and they're adults. You're not really supposed to have contact with adults, but we had exposure to a lot of babies and juveniles. So we would go on baboon walks to the river and let them play in the trees and the river and just spend time with them, play, and then bring them back to their enclosures to eat and stuff. So every day there's a baboon walk. And I got really close with the lowest ranking baboon.
Okay.
And his name was Wiz. Wiz was my sweetheart. Lowest ranking. He was fed last. They all would beat on him, and just they chose him as the last ranking. And
So that's obvious?
It is obvious.
The pecking order?
Oh, the pecking order is obvious. Yeah.
Male and female?
Mm-hmm. And he realized that I loved him so much. He didn't get love from anyone. And so he would gallop to me in the grass, and I would go, Wiz! I had to call for him, Wiz!
Yeah.
And he would jump into my arms. And the other baboons would jump on me and try to beat on him in my arms because
They didn't like
they
that.
didn't want him getting attention. Yeah. So then I would love him and cuddle him and just let him feed in the grass. And when we would bring them all back to the enclosures,
Yeah.
Wiz would be in there and waiting to eat. And I would go up, and he knew that I loved him, but he couldn't show me through the fence because he didn't want to get beat on. So the only way to show me was to put his pinky through the fence to grab my pinky. And
No kidding.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
They're that sentient, obviously. Most things are, I think. But
I have one other crazy thing from Palaborwa at the center.
yeah.
So I became really close with an adult through the fence,
Okay.
the semi-wild enclosure fence.
Okay.
And his name was Jero.
Okay.
And like he's getting ready to be set free and everything. He would sit and watch me dance. I'd be done with my volunteer shift. I'd talk with him, dance, sing songs, and he would sit and wait for me to come, you know? And then one day I was done with my shift. I went over to the fence. He wasn't there. I'm like, oh, maybe he forgot or he's busy.
Yeah.
And I went to my cabin. All the other girls were still doing their work. And my cabin door opened. And this wild adult baboon comes in. And I'm like, okay, this is either wild or it's one of the baboons here.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to make eye contact with wild ones. So I just was looking at the floor like, nice baboon, good boy, you know?
Yeah.
And he sat on my bed. And I was like, wait a minute, this is really close for comfort. Then he was looking through my suitcase, looking at my clothes. I'm like, he must know me. This has got to be one of them. And the rangers were like, it's Jero. So I went running out there. I'm like, there's a wild baboon on my bed. And they're like, Katie, Jero fell in love with you. He broke out. So he rigged the semi-wild enclosure to get out to find me because he saw where I went every day.
Oh my God. How big are they?
They're big. Like adult baboons are big.
Hold on. I want to see
Yeah.
how big a.
It doesn't end there, too. There's one more part of the story.
Keep going.
Okay.
I'm hearing you.
As
Wait,
I'm
is this how
talking
they
right
look?
now.
The red, they got the face with the.
Well, those are mandrills.
Okay.
So if you look up Chakma baboon, I worked with Chakma baboons.
How do I spell chakma?
Chacma. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. See that, right?
Yeah. So they put him back in the semi-wild enclosure, and then he broke out again later. Nobody knew about it. I was taking a shower at night outside. The showers were outdoors. And I was showering, shampooing my hair.
Yeah.
And I opened my eyes as I was shampooing my hair, and he was sitting right in my shower in front of me.
Oh my God. What do you mean? How he didn't make a noise?
No, he snuck in and just sat there and watched me.
I mean, I guess they don't have much that's noisy.
Well, they can get really noisy. They've got a lot of ways of communicating. I mean, at nighttime you can hear them. They're all fighting and there's a lot of noises. Yeah.
And this dude, like,
Yeah, like I know.
he was just chilling,
Just
in the
chilling.
bath, in the shower.
Yeah, in the shower.
How much did he weigh? You think? What's an adult male?
Oh man. Let's actually I don't want to just
Should I look?
Yeah, go ahead.
How big is an adult male?
You could just say how much does an adult
Yeah,
male
I need to.
weigh. Yeah, so broke out again. And he actually invited others to start breaking out. So it became like Planet of the Apes. They were all breaking out, and it was because of me.
You got that effect, huh?
Yeah. So I made a friend there. A lot of people are from other countries working there, but there were a couple Americans. And one of them became one of my best friends. Her name is Caroline. And she's like, let's feed them all bananas. And she was just tossing bananas to all of them, breaking out. Here's a banana.
And they go chase them.
They were like, why not? Just, munching. But
Yeah. So
that's not really their diet. That was just something funny she was doing. but
So they're between usually about 50 to 100 pounds.
yeah, anywhere. So
And they got that sort of teeth. They got,
yeah, I mean, he didn't look like that when he was in the shower. He looked very cuddly and cute.
I'm sure, but he could look like that.
He could. Yeah, he could. At nighttime when they all fight, that's what they look like.
So what is, he wasn't trying to like court you or something? Like, how do you know?
I mean, he was probably trying to warm up to see what I was going to do.
Yeah.
I was just calm. I'm like, buddy, you can't be in here, but I love you. Yeah.
And then what did you get him a towel? What did you do? How did you get this?
I was just like, you gotta go, you know. I'm just trying to go in like this, but I gave him a little pat because I wanted to feel him, you know, because you can't feel him really through the fence and stuff. So
You gave him a little.
I wanted to hug him,
Yeah.
but I think I would have gotten in a lot of trouble.
It might get. Well,
'Cause if something happened to me, they'd be probably in trouble and stuff. So
yeah. So you just told him, you let him down easy.
yeah, and he just finally walked away. And
The male
It is-
ego is pretty fragile when it comes down to
no, poor guy.
it. He just said,
Poor Jero.
so he went, he just left and that was it? He was okay with that?
He was, I guess, he might have been sad.
How were you? Weren't you like,
I
when he
was
got out
sad.
of the room, you weren't terrified? Like, thank God.
I was
Where's
like,
my
yes, I'm stirring something up. I knew that he and I bonded.
Yeah.
I was
You
just,
weren't afraid?
No, I wasn't afraid. I just really want to hug them and like spend time with them. Because, you know, after hugging all the juveniles and the babies, and I was on babysitting duty for a baby named Red.
Yeah.
And he wasn't supposed to sleep in my sleeping bag, but Red was crying all night
Yeah.
in his little cage. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to put him in my sleeping bag.
Yeah.
And he slept with me all night. But I heard lions outside at night, and I'm like, he pooped. He pooped in my sleeping bag.
Okay. And
Like
that
really
can be
bad.
dangerous.
And I was like, I want to go clean myself. The shower's outside. I hear lions. I'm not going out. So I just stayed in poop all night with Red.
Yeah. To be
Yeah.
safe. You have that sort of sense about you. I mean, you know what to do.
Right. I wanted to stay safe even though I was sitting in poop.
That's pretty awesome.
He looked so cute, cuddled up, so warm. Of course he stopped crying. He just needed love.
Yeah.
That's all anyone needs.
It's
Yeah.
pretty interesting that they come in, and I'm sure he knows, right? They get the feel of where you are, their place, your place.
Mm-hmm.
It's not
Yeah.
so. I had one time someone telling me how they had a situation with a dog, and they realized like that the dog was like a person. That's what they said.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, yeah, like all things are like people. If you really
Yeah.
look at them and pay
Mhm.
attention to them.
Yeah.
But the fact that won't put their pinky through the fence, that's
I
like
know.
high intelligence.
I know.
That's super subtle emotional
yeah.
nuance.
You're right. Like he knows he's going to get beat up if he shows me any sort of attention. So that's a secret way of letting me know I'm acknowledging you, but I really can't do anything else.
Yeah. And to give
know.
you that respect
I
and take the
know.
risk.
And take the risk. Aw.
That's so cool.
I know.
That's pretty awesome.
I do miss them. I want to get back there with my bestie Caroline.
Okay.
Luckily, before her grandma passed away, she was so sweet to buy us tickets to eat with Jane at a private dinner, Jane Goodall.
Okay.
And
You were able to do that?
yeah, we got to eat with her, and Caroline and I had the chance to talk with her. But I was like, how am I gonna have Jane remember me? Because I always wanted to work for her, right? She's met millions of people, and I'm like, how am I gonna stand out? So the way that I approached her was, I'm gonna greet her in Swahili
Okay.
because she's fluent in Swahili,
Okay.
and I was like, if I can greet her in Swahili and tell her a little bit about West African drumming and dancing and how that all got tied in everything,
Yeah.
which I'll explain in a minute.
Yeah.
I was like, maybe I could stand out a little bit. So we'll see. And I made an envelope with like pictures of the work that I did in Africa. And
Yeah.
I letter to her of like how she changed my life. And then students created things from my classroom for her too.
Oh,
like
cool.
letters to her.
Yeah.
So I was in line. I'm like, oh my God, here I go. I'm going to meet Jane.
Yeah.
You know? I met her before already a couple times, but it was just, I was younger. I didn't know how to greet her. You know, it just wasn't the time to really make an impression.
Yeah.
So on this day, I go up and I said, Mimi ni Katie, Nina Faraha Kukutana na Wewe. And she had a big smile on her face. You know, she's like, okay, all right, this is where it all begins. That's not what she was thinking. That's what I was thinking. Like, this is the moment. But
what does that mean?
Just simple greetings like, hi, how are you doing? Yeah. But
I'm sure not many white girls with straight black hair come up to her and start speaking in tongues. Did she appreciate it?
Yeah, she did. But then I brought my envelope out. And I think that was an issue because there was a bodyguard behind her.
Yeah.
And my envelope was like, it was such a like sentimental, exciting thing in my mind. Good intentions. So I go to hand her the envelope. The bodyguard steps up and it's like, oh no.
Yeah.
And she had that big smile turned into like, what's happening here?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh no, I didn't understand what was going on.
Yeah.
So I didn't know she was mad at the bodyguard for disrupting us. Yeah, intervening. Or because she's sick of it. You know, she's gave speeches her whole life to save the chimps. Or I made an error. I don't know. But
yeah,
I gave her the envelope. He came in, took it. And then we took our picture, kind of ended. Yeah. Later on, though, in the dinner is when everything changed, though. So I'm like, darn it, I messed up. I shouldn't have brought the envelope. But then Caroline's like, look at Jane standing alone. Let's go over to her. Because it was a very small dinner. So if she's by herself, you can go talk with her, you know?
For sure.
So she's like, let's go. So we go over there and I was so nervous. I'm like, oh man, she's probably upset about the envelope. But then Caroline, you know, she's so bubbly and great. She's like, you changed our life and we worked with baboons in Africa and you're amazing. And I'm like, yes, Caroline's bringing back the fire, you know? Mm-hmm. And so then we get with Jane, can we take another picture with you? And Jane looked at both of us and she goes, you're my baboon girls. You're my baboon girls. And don't you worry, I have your yellow envelope safe. And I was like, yes, this moment changed my life.
Congratulations.
So I never got to work with her, which was always my dream, but I still was able to talk with her about her experience and do the work that I did in Palaborwa.
I think meeting her early on, you feel you have a lot of admiration because she's done so many things.
Right.
And maybe you don't realize probably the similarities that you really have. And maybe you don't realize how much she sees probably you as a peer.
Okay.
Probably. Not too many people. I mean, we get to talk now and again, you and I. It's very far and few between.
Yeah.
And she's a hero for a lot of reasons, and it takes a lot of guts and courage. And sometimes people in her shoes, and maybe you're one of those people, deserve to get that point of reflection. You see yourself, I'm sure you have to in a lot of ways, don't you? I'm not trying to put you on.
No, I'm trying to think. So you're just trying to say that she and I probably share a lot of values and dreams.
Yeah.
Because we want to help this planet and we want to save the apes.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say. Yes.
I hope that my envelope made her feel special. I hope.
I think I don't know. But
like would it make you, if you were like doing this, giving speeches about chimps, lived in Africa, wanted to save the planet, and somebody said, listen, you've changed my life. I want to show you how you changed my life. Here's the work I've done because of you.
Yeah, that would make me happy because I wouldn't feel like I was alone in the journey. And it's such an isolated journey. Okay. Because how many people can really reach to that degree?
Okay.
So I think, I don't know if that answers your question. I was hoping you'd be more happy with that answer.
Oh, no, I am.
No, but when you become older and you start really focusing on things you're passionate about, there are very few people that you would come in contact with that would have a lot in common.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're so right.
Yeah. So she and you have a lot in common.
Okay.
And that type of energy, I think eventually has got to meet. Because,
yeah. Okay. That makes sense. Well, now coincidentally, this center in Wauchula, Florida now that I'm hoping to bridge my school in Florida too, you know, in different capacities. She did work there.
Oh, interesting.
So, and what's crazy is I found out that it was by my school right when she passed. And I was at this point in my life where I was like, where is my primate journey going? I went to Africa in 2017 for the apes or for the baboons. And then I went to Senegal for my West African drumming and dancing, which had nothing to do with primate stuff. It didn't have anything to do. So I really haven't been, I talk about it with my science students.
Yeah.
And I try to get them excited about saving the planet and all that jazz. But
right.
I haven't really done my own work outside of teaching for a while with this dream of mine. But you know what's crazy? I can sit here and talk about them all the time, but I love every animal. I'm obsessed with birds. Like,
oh yeah, I remember.
You know, like I have an umbrella cockatoo at home, and I really love cockatoos. Like, love them.
Yeah.
So it doesn't end with them.
Right. It's always part of kind of what you do.
Even Jane said, everybody thinks that I'm obsessed with chimps, but my favorite animal is a dog.
That's
you know? So she's like, it drives me nuts. Everyone thinks that this is all I like.
Right. Well, the work, I'm sure only what gets highlighted, right, is a lot more happens than only what gets highlighted. So you were dancing for the baboons. So it does play a role. You said the dancing is very separate from your work with primates. But if they feel a deep connection with you because your willingness to perform these dances, it's related in a lot of ways, right? I mean, why else would they give a shit about you? They didn't give a shit about anybody else, did they?
Well, so yeah, this is where the West African drum and dancing comes into play. Because it's like, what are you talking about? Like, where does this come from, right?
Yes.
So like back when I was like, I'm going to Africa, like I realized in college, I want to study science, but I was getting a teaching degree. I'm like, maybe I can teach science, you know, I'll finish the degree. But I really wanted to be in biology and like environmental stuff.
Yeah.
So
You're good.
I was in a college course one day. It was learning how to teach science, basically. It was just a teacher course.
Yeah.
And he had passed a book around about Jane and the primates. I tuned that entire period out. Once the book got to me, I was like, what? I can do this? Like, this is something that I can do.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I can't wait. I'm so excited to live. Like, it was the day where like the revelation arrived.
Yeah.
So ever since that day, I felt like I had a purpose.
Yeah.
I was spinning around. I knew I liked science. But it just seemed like I needed to save this planet and help the animals.
That's very interesting because not a lot of people have the wherewithal to put too much into, let's say, synchronistic sort of scenarios.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard to deny them when they're part of your story, you know, and to look at things in that way and feeling reassured by, I'll call it coincidence. It's not a good way to say it. And it's good. That means that means you're doing the right thing, right? I mean, how can you see all of these similarities and ignore them?
Exactly. Yeah. The synchronicities definitely hit hard.
Yeah.
So that day changed my life, right? And then I made it a point to strive for these dreams in any way I could. I didn't have money at the time for so many years. You know, you're younger, you're like, how am I going to make money to go to Africa? So that was the first thing. How can I feel like I'm in Africa before I go? Because I don't have money to go right now. And I already know I'm excited about this.
Okay.
So then I was like, this is it. I know what I'm going to do. I've got to find like a African dancing. So then I feel like I'm part of the culture. So finally, I discovered West African drum and dance down at Old Town School Folk Music in Chicago.
Okay.
And my teacher, Edie Sis is his name. He's a great man. He's from Senegal. He teaches the courses down there. And there's many other teachers, but he was my teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And so I took lessons from him for many years. And eventually I traveled with him to Senegal. And
Awesome.
and the women that I had been dancing with there. So that was just such a surreal experience, but it was just a part of my whole journey. However, what's funny is I started the drumming and dancing, did that for many years. I taught science on the south side of Chicago and started a team there. So for 7.5 years, I started the drum and dance team on the south side of Chicago, West African drum and dance team at Horizon Science Academy.
Cool.
And
That's awesome.
it was so cool getting the kids excited about the performances, the assemblies, and the drumming and the dancing. But I ended up going to work with the baboons before I went to Senegal. So the whole thing kind of worked out that I practiced the drumming and dancing here in Chicago, did my team, went to go work with the baboons, came back, did more teaching, and then went to Senegal. Yeah. So there's like a lot going on there. I know. Sorry.
No, you're ready to go though, right? All those things kind of work together.
Yeah. Yeah. It all worked out. And I want to go back. I would love to go to the Congo though. I want to do gorillas.
Yeah.
Gorillas are like, oh my God, I love them.
So what is it when you're there? What are you guys looking to? Is there a goal in mind? Is it just documentation, preserving them? Yeah. What's
where in Palabora?
Yes.
Palabora, that was a rehab and release program.
Okay.
So a lot of the baboons are killed. The farmers kill them because they're eating the crops.
Okay.
So the babies are left alone. The parents are killed. They're running around, no parents.
I see.
So then we go in and save babies that are stranded,
Mm-hmm.
bring them to the facility. They stay there for about 5 years.
Yeah.
And then they're released.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're raising wild
baboons and letting them learn to be in troops after they've been raised up and
so they're accepted and not just killed or
right.
Okay. So you're helping maintain a population to some degree.
Yeah. So the people running this facility there are they're wonderful. I mean, all the work that they've done all these years. I only went and stayed for part of the summer in 2017, but they've been there doing that work for so long, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always going to be going on probably.
I hope. I don't want them to stop. I think their son now is running it.
Okay. Keeping it going.
Yeah, keeping it going. So we're hoping to get back there, Caroline and I.
So your African dancing, where are you trying to take that?
Yeah. So I moved to Florida 2 years ago.
Okay.
And I started teaching at a school there in March in the country. And I like it. It's a country school, middle school.
Mm-hmm.
I teach 8th grade science. I think I already mentioned that. But, you know, I just like talking about environmental issues worldwide and locally and getting them involved in different projects to be able to, you know, help the planet. But once I discovered the Center for Great Apes in Wauchula, I was like, this is perfect. I can bring my West African drum and dance team that I just started at that school in Florida to perform for the apes. So I went over to the center. I got in on a private tour because it's not a zoo or anything. It's a very private place. And I was like, can I bring my team here to perform for the apes? And they're like, oh, that would be beautiful. We'll see how they all react. And then what we can do is if it goes well, the next private tour we do, hopefully, you know, they can perform at the end for the people that come to walk on the private tour.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that it's going to work out great. Make the chimps and the orangutans happy. So there's like 75 plus chimpanzees and orangutans.
Okay.
And it's really sad. They have sad backstories. You know, it came from the medical industry and the entertainment industry.
Okay.
And I'm so happy for them though, because now they're happy. They've got these outdoor enclosures. A lot of them have grass. Some of them have live oak trees in them and stuff. So it's still like pretty real in
Yeah.
their outdoor enclosure. Like you feel like you're outside, you are outside. But and they rotate them around. So it's kind of like it kind of mimics a real way of how they survive together out in the wild.
Okay.
They'll make sure they switch them up, put different chimps with other chimps and put different orangs with other orangs just to make sure they're socializing in different ways.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this one orang, he was so funny. So they like to twist on the ropes. They look like flying ballerinas. They're so like emotional and like big.
Yeah.
They're just like calm. Different than chimps, okay? So they like, swing around and do fun things. This one came up to the fence. After we swang into this ballerina trick, he came up and he went just one little fart noise. It's huge beast, beautiful beast,
You got a sense of humor, right? He knows. That's funny.
Yeah. So, I just hope that we're going to be able to go and perform. We're working on it now, and I still have to communicate with them about coming to perform. So
Yeah.
this is in the works. I'm talking about it because I feel like when we talk about our dreams, they manifest.
Yeah. I'm sure it helps.
It does.
I mean, planning, being diligent, working your entire life, put that on the side. We're going to say it 3 times. It's going to happen. No, but yeah. Yeah. No, that's awesome. So if you have a dance group, being able to perform, one for chimpanzees has got to be just an experience that they'll never get anywhere else. And there's tons of value and exclusive experience. And then on top of that, they get to perform for an audience, which is always good. I mean, that's artistic. It's highly artistic, in the arts, and appreciating things just for their aesthetic, because there's a lot of emotion in those sorts of spaces. And the words don't really mean a whole lot. And it just helps raise everybody's spirits. And that's what I notice a lot about kind of your whole energy and what you do. That sort of exuberance gets people out of their shells, because you can't have any sort of shell when you're committing to these sorts of dance routines. And I think some people, that might really help them from even a social place. And besides the chimps and being in a dance group, there's a lot of value in that in itself. And I don't know if you're aware of that, but that's how it looks from the outside. Oh,
it's funny that you say that, because actually dance it really does help with social emotional learning, and it curbs depression and many other not disorders, but you know what I mean, just things that we deal with.
Yeah.
Pain, suffering. I feel great when I dance. I feel free, and and I see my kids, my students are just really happy when they're dancing and drumming.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't say enough about that and pushing that almost in like a health way, which sounds silly, but I feel like it's true. Singing, I was talking with a therapist once, and I was like, I find so much value in trying to sing.
Okay.
And I'm terrible, but it's about just being and having confidence and feeling a certain way.
Yeah. Like, how do you feel when you do it? Do you do it because you feel good?
Yeah, I feel free. There's no wrong answer. There's no, and if you can get over the judgment aspect of it, I think that's the main thing.
Yeah.
That,
oh my God, I'm so glad you brought that up, because a lot of times fear blocks us from creativity. We're afraid to succeed, because what does that mean? What does success mean? It means you need discipline. It means you need creativity. It means you're going to have days where you didn't sleep well. It puts you in a place of discomfort. To be successful, you're going to have days where you're really uncomfortable.
Right.
And we're afraid of that.
We are. And Christmas time is great. And it's fun even to have silly karaoke and have everybody sing together, even though it's, I want to say gay, but just to put on a smile and to put on cheer.
Yeah.
There's a lot of value in that. And I think that sort of camaraderie and that connection is
Yeah.
is something that I wish was like more a part of our culture.
Yeah, that I think what I've noticed just from traveling and being in other countries and then coming home and just seeing how we function here, it's like the lack of community. The lack of, drum circles are one of my favorite things. My husband and I we grew up going to drum circles here in Chicago and then now in Florida. They have them in Florida too on the beach.
Mhm.
But it's just a great way to practice West African drumming and dancing, even if a lot of people there aren't practicing traditional West African drumming and dancing. It's still a nice community to meet people, drum, dance. Everyone's free. You watch the dolphins at sunset. I mean, it's just heaven. It feels like heaven.
Yeah.
But we need more events like that. Outdoors, the music, the vibrations of the drums in the ground. It's so healing.
Yeah.
And nobody, like you said, there's no right or wrong answer. You can just do it. You can wear angel wings, butterfly wings, and just flap around. You don't have to, nobody's expecting you to do something.
Right. And it's to go back what you said earlier when you brought Jane Goodall the envelope. Right away, it's such a human nature when things don't seemingly go kind of perfect or smooth to
Right.
start like self-degradation and like
yes.
self-talk, and I should have thought about it better, and I should have planned differently, and I should have known this was the outcome. And in song and in dance, that sort of, I want to say turmoil, it just all melts, it dissolves, and it brings you back to a baseline. And coming back to that baseline, just like kids are required to go to school, should be a requirement because we've lost it. I really wish at certain points in my life there was a requirement through work or other social pressures to be open, to be free.
Right.
It's in other cultures there is some pressure, right? Drum
Yeah.
circle time, you got to dance. Everybody does. It feels good.
Right.
Over here, if you don't want to do drum circle, that's okay. You like something different and you let people be themselves. And I think that's sometimes that's not the best.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe it is. But yeah, you said it's like a lack of culture in America,
Yeah, there's not.
which is kind of the opposite because people think like America is the creator of all culture. I mean, in a lot of ways, we create mainstream culture.
Right.
But we have no culture in our.
Well, it's interesting. I mean,
history.
in the major cities like here in Chicago or New York, it's great because it's like a mini world. I mean, you just see people from all different countries, and where I've been living now, it's very different. It's not like that. So I've actually been missing the city of Chicago, just everything that it offers. I don't miss the climate here, but I do miss all the opportunities.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I am more of an outdoorsy person, and I just want to work with animals and be around plants and everything. So Florida's climate and environment is more up my alley. But I do love the seasons up here, and I love exploring the nature up here too. It's very different.
Yeah. Where else have you traveled? I know you've told me some stories.
I went in Europe. I was in Europe for a while with my bestie. That was just like a month-long thing after college. Got to see like Spain, Italy, France,
Yeah.
Austria, Amsterdam.
It's a little trip.
We took the Eurail, so we were on a train and we could get off and hang out for somewhere 4 days, get back on the train.
Okay.
It was a nice.
Yeah.
Trained it and backpacked it and risked our life. No, it was fun. Yeah.
Where were you?
Cinque Terre, Italy.
You went to.
Cinque Terre. It's the best. If you've never been to Cinque Terre, Italy, like book it now. Book the flight now. Do you need help with that?
I need tons of help.
Okay.
No, I got it.
Are you sure?
Yeah. What's Cinque
got it?
Terre, Italy?
It's this really just like spectacular cliff region along the Mediterranean Sea where the villages mesh together and you just hike and you hike and you hike all day, but at your own risk, buddy, because there's no rail. So if you fall off those cliffs, bye-bye.
I want to
You
bring
go.
this up.
Yeah, Cinque Terre. It's Cinque. Yeah, and then Terre. There you go. But if you look at the pictures, just like, oh my gosh. Just look at this.
Oh,
Come
wow.
on. You've got to go. Yeah. But I would like to go to Tanzania, Africa, where Jane was stationed for many years.
Is there any work over there that you could continue or be a part of or see that she did?
Yeah, she has volunteer opportunities. There's some different volunteer opportunities. You can go over there and spend, maybe 6 months in an internship, or she's got some different things that you can do. Now, after she's passed, I'm not sure what has changed or what's pending just because of the loss of Jane, but
Right. Well, a lot of times when the person ahead of it all kind of passes on, it kind of fizzles out.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up. Before she passed away, there was one more interview that she was a part of. And she had said, "Don't worry. I have left all of my work with all the right people."
Interesting.
Yeah. So
it's
she's like,
around.
we're set. We're set. But the only thing is, which I didn't want to touch on politics, because kids, my students will always bring up, who do you support, all that, and I'm not allowed to talk about stuff like that. But what I can say is I support Jane Goodall.
Yeah.
And what's happening now is $5 million per year for the next 4 years is taken from her organization.
It's not going to be going to her anymore.
I'm not going to attribute, how do I put this? I'm not going to say why that's happening, but I mean, you can probably figure that out. Yeah. So she said, "I will say, 5 million is taken from my organization from the next 4 years. This earth needs our help, and it's not going to be getting the help it needs fully. It really isn't."
This is her last words. I'm going to read them, or supposedly her last message. And this might not be accurate, but it says, "I want to make sure that all you understand that each and every one of you has a role to play."
Yeah. And, little kids will say to her, "But I want to be like you. I want to be a biologist and study and do." She's like, "You can today. Go out and be curious about everything in your environment. You already are.
Yeah.
Start today. You don't have to have a piece of paper that says you're a biologist. Go out and start today."
Well, you're one of the only people that the word ecology I even started to understand, because you would you were active in the forest preserves around the area, and then you would notate, "Oh, do you hear that's a chickadee? You hear this bird?" And you would call them out, and you show me all the reptiles. I remember a few times, and we would go and we would look at what's indigenous and what's native. And you had access to all these local parks or preserves. And it just seemed like such an obviously important part of our, let's say, lives. And nobody besides you has any passionate about it. It's like a secondary thing where you bring the preschoolers. It didn't have any teeth. Like, I just felt like there was all this great information nobody knew about. I mean, it was like just saved for the kids. And
I get what you're saying. It's like the people who know about it are the communities that you work in at those preserves. So you go to work, you're like, "Hey guys, let's get excited. Next week, the red-winged blackbirds are coming back. They're going to be here. The males are going to start, claiming their areas. So let's get ready. It's exciting, and it's like, you'd have a little work celebration. Woo, red-winged blackbirds are coming back. But that doesn't happen at, other workplaces.
No,
you've got to be working at a nature preserve or something.
Yeah. But it lends itself to things like what plants are around your house, what medicines might be available
Yeah.
through botany,
Right.
what dietary items are available and vast that you don't even know about. So there is a very big benefit to understanding your surroundings
Exactly.
because we don't know how high grocery prices might go or what might contaminate a certain food source.
Right.
And not having that symbiosis or that connection at the forefront of our youth or us as adults, it can leave us vulnerable.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's true. Knowledge is power. And also, nature doesn't expect anything from you. When you go out and you walk in the woods, it's not asking you to do anything. So, how could we not be so free and at peace walking in the woods?
Yeah.
It's giving you oxygen. It's sustaining you. It's providing food for you. You know, it's storing carbon.
It's
It's
storing
doing
carbon.
everything.
Yeah.
And it doesn't require anything from you. How cool is that?
Yeah.
Just enjoy the sounds. Just, enjoy the fresh air.
Yeah. Well,
Anyway.
yeah. It is really nice. I wish I understood a little bit more about what type of trees we have. What if
Yeah.
I want to tap one of these trees for some syrup?
Yeah.
Who's doing that?
They have a festival down in the city at one of the preserves down there.
Yeah.
I took my high school students when I taught environmental to high school in the city. And we did a whole day of understanding the maple tree tapping. It's so cool.
That is cool.
And they had all the trees tapped. And then you take a dry spaghetti straw and you dip it in the juice and then you taste it and you try it. So cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can look it up.
I want to.
Yeah, they'll have that in the spring. Well, kind of like winter spring. It's like winter going into spring. But perfect time to tap the maple trees. And so fun. Bonfires going. You can go to all the trees and take your little spaghetti straw.
Well, the other thing too, it was easy. You went in these areas, like you were always a part of them.
Mm-hmm.
But most kids don't know.
I know.
Like how many other kids or people are there that really crave this connection and have a desire to learn? And it just doesn't, the connection, hey, go to the local forest preserve, talk with whoever's conserving whatever might be available or documenting it and start to be active. Because that's the only way it happens.
Hey, and I love that you brought this up. You're right. A lot of the youth, they don't know about these opportunities. When you show them, so this is what's great. My high school students, I only had a small environmental course. I created it at my high school and they let me teach it. I was like, I'm going to design an environmental science curriculum here because we need it.
See, that's what I mean.
And they're like, all right. So they let me do it for a year. And I brought them to the festival and everything. At the end of that year, I had almost most of them come to me and say, I want to get an environmental science degree in college. And that for me was like, if I got 10 of them, thank God, there's 10 of them out there trying to save this planet. And one of them could be like Jane and change millions of lives, So when I hear those stories, I'm like, thank you. It worked. It worked.
Yeah. You see, I see people like Jane Goodall or I want to say who's the guy that died from the stingray? These very active.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay.
You have like a few people, but as far as anybody local or anywhere to go to participate, it's lost.
Well,
you're the only person I know.
So that's what's funny. There are so many people and you see it when you're in it.
Yeah.
It's if you're not in the fields, then you think it's nowhere, right? But like I join different groups. Like I'll go on and sign into a birding class, and there are experts that work for like the Audubon Society and like others, and they go on and they talk about the birds that they're saving in different spots, and in Hawaii, whatever. And then they have a painting class. You paint the bird that they're actually saving in different locations in the world, and then you can teach your kids about it. You can actually teach your kids about it, your students, whatever. But
sure.
So there are so many people working in conservation to help this planet in so many capacities, but unless you're, I mean, if you're not in it, then it's harder to see who these people are.
Yeah. And it's good when people like you are around and trying to have classes available that otherwise wouldn't exist. Because how else do you get exposed to things unless there's a class that's available that you could go and be a part of?
Right.
Like you made that.
Yeah. Right. And these kids wouldn't have cared. And why I brought all that up is because here's Jane Goodall's quote, my favorite one, which they always bring up Jane Goodall's quotes, but the one that always stuck with me hasn't been at the forefront of the quotes for a while, I feel like. There's always another one that keeps popping up. But I even write this on my students' report cards after the end of the quarters. Sometimes I'm like, I'm not going to put good boy, bad boy. I'm going to put a quote from Jane Goodall to remember to save this planet.
Yeah.
And so I don't want to botch it up, but oh yeah. If we can understand, we can help. If we help, sorry, I'm messing it up. We need it
Okay.
up. We need it up.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Jane Goodall.
It's like Jane Goodall, if we can understand. Quote. Yeah, I don't want to botch it up.
Okay. We'll get it
They'll be like,
exactly.
that's not the quote.
Of course.
You know? Oh, there we go. Only if we can understand can we care. Only if we care, we will help. Only if we help, we shall be saved. So only if we understand can we care. Only if we care, we will help. And only if we help, we shall be saved. And that's the thing. I try to tell my students, listen, you don't understand. If you don't understand, then there's no way you're going to care.
Right.
So, and if you don't care, you're not going to help. And if you don't help, we're doomed. You know?
Right.
So, who knew about the Center for Great Apes in Wauchula 20 minutes from the school? None of them. Not one. They grew up there. So I was like, that's it. We've got to do something.
Well, that's what I
about
mean. The
this.
awareness, even just around here locally. When you showed me that stuff, I was having fun. I mean, I was an adult at the time. I was very interested. There's like that even around here. Maybe it's not such a big thing that's directly related. I feel like it's important to say locally, people got to go and actively seek what's around them. And if nobody's really taking a strong foot forward and you have the motivation and the energy and the caring and the understanding, it's ready. It's just waiting for you for a lot of people.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw it and you just didn't think. You just knew it was yours. Like you said, oh, this is what I can do. Like it became like a revelation for you, which is great. And I think some people don't have that sort of those aha moments in their life where being exposed to different things lend you into a path that is very gratifying that's been ignored.
Yeah. I think there's so much out there. You know, a lot of my students will say, oh, I don't want to. Why do we have to help the apes? Why do we have to? Who cares? You know, and I'm like, listen, we need to help international projects and local projects. If we don't have this community, this worldwide community helping each other, then we have no planet. And if we have no planet, we have no USA. So it's not just about America, it's about the world. Yeah. There is going to be no America without the rest of the planet.
Right.
You know, so we really need to help local issues and worldwide issues.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get at. Locally, right? You said this place is local and it's big. And a lot of people say, oh, I can't, like you said, I can't make it to Africa.
Right,
I can't get to the thing.
Yeah.
But locally, there is so much teaming.
So much.
Yeah.
Jane even says, don't think too big. You know, obviously international stuff, we need help. But start local.
Yeah.
There's so many projects. So many environmental projects, and citizen scientist is a thing here, and it's everywhere. If you just look up citizen scientist, you can join a project just to help the local community. So, like, let's say you're like, I'm interested in tagging monarch butterflies. You can start, you know, whatever project they have going, you can start helping with that. You know, just even as a volunteer. Okay, this summer I'm going to start tagging monarchs. So it's like you're helping scientists worldwide by joining these volunteer projects just through citizen scientists because they need data. They need help collecting data.
Yes.
So isn't that cool? Like any kid can do it too. So you're helping scientists, and you're a scientist by helping the scientists, and it's going to get you excited
Yeah.
doing the work. You're already actively becoming a scientist by joining.
I didn't know this even existed. Is this it? Citizen
And science. I'm trying to think of the exact
citizen scientist.
scientist. If you put in, let's see, like
This one is
maybe just put citizen scientist projects. Put like Chicago. Let's just start there. Okay, it looks like they have a couple of websites.
program. Illinois Department of Natural Resources.
There's another website though that I can show you. Bee spotter. Let's see. Audubon Society Christmas bird count. You can go out and count birds and stuff for them. Which species are, to keep track of which species are sustaining, which ones are declining.
In hunting, they do that with the deer population, and they allow a certain amount of tags.
Yeah.
It's all calculated.
Yeah.
So documenting everything is a big part of knowing what you're allowed to kill and not, so you don't throw off some crazy ecological avalanche or something, right? That you didn't know because you wiped out all the deers, and now or something. Obviously, they know better than to do that, but they didn't when they killed all the buffaloes.
I know.
So it's like,
it's kind of funny that whole thing that you just discussed that's just induced by humans. Like, we have to manage things because we started this.
right.
We don't have to manage anything. Let nature be. But because we want our highways and we want our stores, now we've got to manage the populations.
Yeah. Well, I know I had a class in college where we met a lady came in to discuss with us, and she manually transferred bees around America to populate different crops. She was paid to do that.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool. I love beekeeping. Oh my God.
Yeah. But it was because naturally they wouldn't show up. So she would show up with a truck.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And they would pollinate what needs to get fertilized because otherwise it wouldn't.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So and then there was like that thing where like a third of the bees died.
Yeah.
And then we're like, what happened? I guess nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, right. It's all the neonicotinoid pesticides. That's what happened.
It killed them.
This country don't even get me going, but the pesticides drive me nuts.
Yeah. Capitalism has a weird way of caring about its people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it knows how to.
Good way to put it.
Yeah.
Well, because a lot of countries decrease the amount of, or they just completely ban them, the neonicotinoids. And we're like, well, we'll still use them, but we'll maybe, decrease the amount a little bit, but we're still going to use them.
I don't know why. I justify it like this. In other cultures or countries, like Italy, only a certain grade of olive oil comes out of Italy, and it's labeled a product of Italy. And if it doesn't have that labeling, it doesn't meet the requirements necessarily that they have. And they have very high standards for their olive oil because they love olive oil,
right?
And they love what they make. So because they have such a culture and they love everything about it, they preserve its integrity,
right?
And that gets lost in American capitalism.
Yeah, because it's about produce. There's kind of like this intimacy that you're talking about. Like look at this, like this olive oil's coming from Italy, and it's I can't explain it.
No, that is
just like produce that product. There's no like love in it.
Yes. Yeah, and that gets lost. And then nobody gives, and then it's like, well, it comes down to numbers, and numbers are a strange thing. And that's where capitalism kind of loses its luster. It does a lot of good things, but it also does a lot of bad things. And how do you keep the good things and kind of shape the bad things to be more humane?
It's funny that you're bringing all this up. There's this one podcaster, I randomly listened to him, and he like opened my mind to this ideology, I guess. He said, I want to have a smaller audience because the larger audience is mediocre. The smaller audience, you can do so much with a smaller audience. And When he related to the larger audience as mediocre, I was like, let me think about that. Like, what do you think about that statement? Like,
Yeah.
really, like, what do you think about the
Well,
larger audience is mediocre? Why do you think he said that?
it's quality over quantity.
Yes, there we go. Quality over quantity, for sure.
It's really hard to maintain quality at large quantities.
Now, but like, let's think about like a message to save this planet. You need to reach larger audiences, right? Because we all need to be doing our part to do this, to save the planet.
Yeah.
So in that case, I guess it is about a larger audience, right?
Well, it depends. If you have less that are quality, that influence through pragmatic means.
Okay. Yeah.
If you got leaders, if you got 100 leaders, male and real leaders, yourself included,
Yeah.
that give a shit,
Yeah.
and you got 10 under you,
Yeah.
there's 1,000. I think sometimes it is better to have less, because when you have more, it gets lost in ideas and this and that. It's open for debate.
Okay.
And we love to talk in America. We love to
Yeah.
debate.
Right.
You wanna go? Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm going to look some stuff up. Okay, let's see. Bathroom break. Let's ask Grok. What is the number one way we can save the planet? Grok, what do you think? Climate change. The most effective single way to save the planet, particularly in addressing climate change. Why is that what they want to do? The dominant environmental threat is to rapidly phase out fossil fuels, coal, oil, and natural gas, and transition to clean, renewable energy sources like solar, wind, and geothermal. So going green. It's our consumption of energy, our consumption of fossil fuels, natural gas. Well, all of this lends itself to electricity, generating electricity in new ways, which is, I think it's a mechanical, scientific sort of endeavor. High science, very efficient machines, solar and wind. I don't know about that. I asked Grok, which is Elon Musk's, what they think the number one way to save the planet is, and they think it's lessening fossil fuels, because apparently the Grok says climate change is the most pressing current global issue, which who knows really.
Climate change is a big problem. I did a coral reef study with my science students
Mm-hmm.
in the city here in Chicago, and we basically put corals in a tank and increase the temperature by 2 degrees, see what would start happening, because we wanted to see if it's true, if they start discoloring themselves and then bleaching themselves. And they do. So just a 2 degrees difference in increase in temperatures in the ocean, it causes significant damage. And that needs to be sustained for a while to start that process. So he won a medal. He got a gold medal for that project, and we studied together for a while. And
it makes, well, it causes a chain reaction of sorts.
There's a great coral documentary on Netflix. I forget the exact name. Coral Chasing, I think it is. One of the coolest documentaries, because there's so many ways that you can help. Because a lot of the pieces of coral float, and you can be a volunteer who goes down and catches loose pieces,
Okay.
and then like reattach. And then there's other ways to help too. They put these like metal things down there, and they attach the corals to them, and they grow more of them in labs and bring them down to help. So there's just ways we can help, and I would love to do it.
That sounds good. It reminds me of, I don't know what I saw, but there was a methane leak in the ocean that had been going on for a long time. I don't know if it was natural, right? And there were all types of crustaceans that were living in this environment of methane.
Yeah.
And part of me wonders how adaptable is life, in the oceans.
Oh, right. I know.
We might lose starfish. I'm not saying that's a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know. But some things are like beyond my understanding. I mean, how could something live with methane as being on our planet? Yeah,
I know. There's some interesting examples. But the metal thing I just thought of with the corals is they're called reef racks. They're called reef racks.
Okay.
You can be a volunteer, dive down with a reef rack, put it down, and then help replenish the coral populations. It's so cool, the things that you can do. But I would love, imagine just like volunteer. I'm going to volunteer today, putting reef racks down in the ocean to restore what's been destroyed.
Yeah. There was something too I saw like that with salmon, where they farm salmon and they use these racks, and that's what it does. There's all this contaminants in the ocean, and the microbials thrive on it, and they transition something from being pretty terrible to thriving with.
Now, that's a salmon farm?
Yeah.
That's the only thing. Like those fish farms I get kind of sad about, because it's more unhealthy than catching wild.
Yeah. I think when they're done, the area that they've been in for so long, it's like ravished. It's like ransacked. So when they were taking them out, they realized they had some obligation to bring back this life when they're...
Oh, right. Okay.
So I think part of it is moving away from those sort of cultivating farms and then letting systems like that rejuvenate the natural biology, or I don't know what you would call it, but...
Yeah. The ocean is just a very, how do I put this, mysterious yet phenomenal creation. Like the organisms that live there, I snorkel at this one place in Boca Grande, Florida. I go to, I don't want to say exactly where I go.
Okay.
I love my little hot spot.
Oh,
and
for sure.
It's like my spot.
Yeah.
And no one's there, and I just love it. I just wake up on a Saturday and I'm going snorkeling.
That's
I'm
awesome.
going snorkeling today. But there's like sheephead fish there, and some jellyfish sometimes. There's just starfish if you're lucky. But just looking at like the limestone under the water too, you're like, oh, what's in this little crevice here? And the water's normally clear every time I go. So
yeah, every part of the ocean is like teeming with life.
it really is. If you start looking closely, there's so much.
Even just regular, like you look at the concrete long enough, you get those little red bugs.
Yeah.
You're like the blood bugs. They're still there. You look, why is the concrete moving? Like, oh, it's all alive. Whatever's on.
And we have a mutual friend, I don't know if I could say his name on here, Jono, but we have a mutual friend, and when we were little, he would smash those things all the time. Like, you better stop that.
You
You
gotta
need to save this planet.
you gotta smash the blood bugs. You gotta grab the lightning bugs and you gotta smear them on the floor.
Do not do that.
The amount of bioluminescence I have set free.
I hope so. I
Would-
hope you set them free.
I saved them one time. We collected them with a neighbor. We as many as we could in a jar, a ball jar, like full. And then I didn't tell my parents. And when they went to sleep, I opened it and I went to sleep. And they were flying all over our house. Our whole house had lightning bugs in the house. And my dad, my dad, he was like, "What's going on?" And
I could totally see you doing this.
he woke up. He had the vacuum out, and he's vacuuming them out of the air because they're easy to catch. So he's like,
"Oh man!"
And I just was like, "Oh, I hope they never found out it was me." I never told them. If they watch this, they might realize that one day bioluminescence.
How could they not know it's you?
I don't know. Nobody said anything.
Come on.
You never know. I mean, it wasn't like thousands. How many could I catch?
Okay.
Maybe 30.
So what were you doing when they were like vacuuming the air?
I was trying to pretend I was asleep so they wouldn't come in and be like, "Where did all these bugs come from?"
Oh my God.
They're all gone though. When we were little, they would be like forever.
Oh, I know. Here they're gone. But I was up in the Smokies. Oh, they're everywhere.
Where are the Smokies?
So out east. I was in the Appalachian area.
I just drove through
Mountains.
Chattanooga.
Okay. I was in Tennessee, but I was up over by like Dolly World or Dollyhood. What is it? Dollywood.
Okay, Dollywood? I don't know. It sounds good. From Dollywood?
No, there's a cool bird sanctuary up in like northeast Tennessee, and so many cockatoos there, and you can like hold the birds and handle babies. It's cool.
Yeah.
There's a bird sanctuary up there. Yeah. Anyway.
So-
You're looking at some. Florida Springs. If I have to say on here somewhere you have to go, it is Rainbow River in Florida. Rainbow River.
Ooh. This is Rainbow River?
Rainbow River. Yeah, it is a paradise. It's just
Wow.
a paradise river. So you can chill on that river for 3-4 hours. You just cruise down
Yeah.
in kayak. Your kids can go with you in like tubes or whatever, but you can get out and snorkel wherever you want.
Is it this blue or are these just what
No,
they...
it's really this blue. And it's like not the entire river, but that's where the blue parts are where you want to snorkel. It's so amazing. Like you can get out and snorkel and then all of a sudden a cormorants dive under the water. You'll just be snorkeling and all of a sudden a cormorant's next to you and you're like, this is insane. Cormorant. Yeah, they're all over Florida.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And they get in the water, they'll dive.
Yeah,
Obviously,
they'll dive.
they're
They've got
fishes.
these turquoise blue eyes. So beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we're actually going next week because we're going to go to it's in Ocala, Florida. And we hit up every spring up there and snorkel. So Rainbow River, Juniper Springs is a great one. And so is Silver Springs is where the monkeys are. There's a wild troop of monkeys in Silver Springs.
Silver Springs?
Do that one. That one's better. Juniper's nice, but Silver Springs have got the rhesus macaque monkeys. Yeah, so you can kayak here. Unfortunately, Silver Springs, you can't get out and snorkel. It's so protected.
Okay.
So
It won't let you even...
but the monkeys are the highlight.
Because you'll be... How do I spell
Silver Springs, Florida. Ocala, Florida. Or just Florida. That's fine.
But how do I spell these monkeys? I want to see them.
Oh, okay.
Monkeys? Silver
Yeah,
Springs,
just put
Florida
monkeys. Just put monkeys.
They
right
got
there.
it.
Yeah, they got it.
It is a thing.
Yeah.
DuckDuckGo knows about it.
Yeah. So if you're lucky,
You'll see them.
yeah, because there's a small troop there. And the only reason why is because a long time ago in the 1900s, they started a tour where you can come to this island and see the rhesus macaque monkeys. This guy wanted to start this cool tour. Then
They start getting poached.
They got out and they started having babies and now there's a whole troop there just living in Ocala, Florida.
Okay.
They can survive though because of the climate.
Yeah. So they're down there?
So they're down there.
Maybe
yeah,
you're
and
gonna
they jump from the trees into the water when you're kayaking. It's so cool.
Sounds terrifying. What? So
It could be.
how many close encounters have you had?
Well,
Having a bamboo in your having a baboon, having a baboon in your shower seems like so scary. All right, like that's not normal at all. And then what else has been? What would other people consider? Do you think a little risky that you found yourself maybe in? We'll say deep. That's deep water.
yeah.
Because what if he decided you were his girlfriend? Like, how do you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you not know? Do other people worry for you like I am?
Yeah. My dad's like, you're not going to Palabora, South Africa. You're not going. I was like, I'm going.
I remember what happened with didn't you run into a bear?
Oh, yeah.
What
I was like, wait, there's been a couple. I can't think of anything on the spot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that was a mother black bear. I was just in the wrong spot at the wrong time. I was running up in the Sierra Mountains. I was at a European like soccer camp for the summer. And I was like, I'm going to go do my run in the morning. And I was running and uphill. And they're excellent uphill climbers, excellent tree climbers. And I saw 3 babies. I was running and I had my headphones on. I'm like, oh my gosh, I just ran through a couple baby bears, black bears. That means mom's around. The beast is around. So I just started running for my life, like as if she was behind me. I didn't even want to look.
Yeah.
But I knew it's too late. I'm going uphill. I just ran through the babies. Where is she?
Yeah.
So then I look out to my right and she was out there. She took a double take and that was it. She thought I had her baby and she started hauling up the mountain after me, skin rippling on her back. Like, and I was like, it's over. It's over. I'm dying today. And I just went running for my life. I was starting to black out though. So I'm like, I can't keep running. So I was like, I've got to do something so weird to offset the bear. Just, I'm not going to scream. She's already chased. She can just jump on me. It's over. So I just stopped. I didn't hear anything. And I turned around and she was right behind me. And I'm like, I'm going to play the like, I love you card. And I was like, you're such a nice bear. I love you.
You started talking to
her. And I was like, you're so cute. And she just looked at me like I was insane, sniffed the ground and walked away. And that was it. I was set free.
Isn't it funny though? Even in a soccer camp, you still find yourself deep amongst the animals. What? So what did she do? Did you run? How did you continue? Because
I couldn't. I was half blacking out. So I was like walking up that hill, like limping.
Just like expecting to die still?
Well, I thought there might be another one. She turned around and walked away. I figured she was done with me. But I thought there could be more. That was my worry. There's more.
Yeah.
But there wasn't. So I basically limped back to camp. I barely was walking. And then I just started crying when I reached the finish line. And everyone was doing chores and stuff. And I was like, I just got chased by a mother black bear. Do not go out there. And they're like, oh, we're going running in 10 minutes. I'm like, don't.
Don't do it. They're going to kill you. Don't.
So nobody listened to me. They all went running, but apparently their run was fine because everyone was alive.
I'm sure I'm sure she was afraid, right? I'm sure she left. She probably knew, right? Like she probably knew maybe that you weren't a threat, but
yeah,
right?
She knew.
She's like,
I wasn't holding a baby.
Yeah.
She's like, all right, she doesn't have my babies. She's talking like a baby.
Yeah.
I'm not scared.
Right.
I don't think we have to get so big and mean.
Yeah.
I really don't.
Yeah.
It depends on the bear though. Black bears are known for charging and not killing, but talk about brown bears. Ooh, that's a different story.
Why? What do you mean?
Let's just say this: a baby voice ain't gonna help you with a grizzly.
Oh, a brown bear.
Yeah,
Wouldn't think twice. They're a little more ruthless.
Yeah.
More apex.
Yeah.
Is a black bear apex predator? Sure, it has to be, right? Or no?
Well,
let's ask DuckDuckGo.
It's funny because bears are omnivores. So it depends on the chain you're looking at. I always talk about this with my kids because we look at apex predators, we look at different food webs and food chains, and
yeah,
there's always, I mean, it depends on the ecosystem you're looking at.
Right. If they got a low, let's say, vegetable count,
right,
and they got a surplus of, for some reason, they got boar out there or something.
Yeah.
You know, they might be eating a lot more animals, where they're more inclined to take a person out,
right,
as opposed to someone that maybe an area where there's tons of vegetation that they can eat. Is why chase something when you don't have to, maybe.
Right. But, you know, it's weird because when they say apex predator, and then because you've got your primary consumer, your secondary consumers, your tertiary consumers, and then you have apex predator. And a lot of kids will get confused. Well, this is a tertiary consumer, but it's also an apex predator. I'm like, yeah, sometimes they fall in both categories. It gets confusing. It's not so black and white.
Right. It's just how you try to label the tendencies so you can identify how they're acting. It's not right. It doesn't mean anything beyond like a pointing. You're right. It says the American black bear is considered an apex predator in some ecosystems.
There you go.
Look at that. You see?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That always. Why? The thing is, like, how is that? Like, that made you scared and you cried, and then there's like there's a bamboo.
Bamboo.
There's a baboon in your shower. Wait, hold on. You don't have clothes on in the shower, right?
No.
So you're just fully naked and there's this freaking
baboon.
Oh my God. How did you not?
I was so excited. Like deep down, I was like, this is my dream.
Yeah, I'm sure they pick up on it, right?
Yeah, they do. Animals know.
Pheromonally and all that. You can't hide from who you are.
You know, I was a little nervous to go because malaria is a big thing and that was a risk. My roommate got it. Her bed was right next to mine. She got malaria, you know? So it's like, it's a thing. It's not.
Yeah.
I wore tights under my shorts when I was there. So there's a lot of mosquitoes and malaria, you know?
Yeah.
So they were always questioning me, why are you wearing tights every day? It's hot. I'm like, I'm protecting myself.
Yeah.
And look what happened. People not wearing tights. You're more susceptible. You're going to get bit more.
Yeah. They
know?
ended up sick.
Yeah.
And somehow you end up unscathed, taking showers with the baboons. No, I think that's pretty kind of awesome, actually. So
yeah, I guess my message is we need to save this planet and we can all do our part. There's so many opportunities to help the planet, volunteer opportunities, internships. You don't have to be a full-time employee somewhere. You can just do your part, whether it's a butterfly garden or, you know, attending some sort of conference, painting a picture of a threatened bird and spreading the message about we need to save this bird and show your painting and try to sell it. I mean, just there's ways to talk about or get people excited about saving the planet.
I know there are foundations, right? Is there anything you would suggest people if they want to, let's say, contribute financially?
So many. So, okay, I will. Okay.
What do you like?
This.
Like, where do you think your money's getting best spent, in your opinion? If somebody were to make a donation towards something.
Oh man, there's so many organizations. I mean, the Jane Goodall Institute is one. That's number one.
Okay.
Because she's not just about the apes. She's really about her organization feeds hungry people too, and helps other environmental issues. So
She's like a humanitarian, or she is a humanitarian.
yeah, I mean, she's everything.
Yeah.
But there's so many of them, and I would have to like make a nice list because there's so many.
Okay.
For the youth out there and the people who might want to join an internship or get a job, the Student Conservation Association is great. It was the first job I had out of college. I was like, I'm not going to go straight to teaching. I want to teach outdoors. So Student Conservation Association, you can apply and they'll set you up in any state in this country. You could either be someone who counts birds or you educate youth in the woods, but they have different projects. You can choose a project you're excited about. Like, I want to go to Texas and work to help rattlesnakes, or, you got to see what they offer. But most of the time, they'll pay you a stipend to live and work there. And it's great for your resume, and you're helping the planet. And it's such a great starting job out of college.
Yeah.
So if I can share that, I really want youth to know about Student Conservation Association, SCA.
Is that what you were doing when you were showing me different areas? Because it seemed like it was conservation.
So I worked for Lincoln Marsh Natural Area. That is a wetland out in Wheaton.
Yeah.
I worked there for many years. So studying one ecosystem for at least 3 or 4 years is mesmerizing because like you said, you see how the ecology works, and it inspires you to want to study every creature in that ecosystem because they all support each other. Without one, everything else is affected. Even the mosquitoes,
Yeah.
And that a lot of synchronicity started happening when I was working there because I would take my daily walks and I would write my journal, my observations, and that's when I learned the most. I'm not kidding you. I learned the most working at that wetland compared to any institute I was ever a part of. 3 years at a wetland, you'll learn plenty.
Yeah.
And you just care so much more because you understand.
Yeah.
It's not just reading in a book, oh, cattails need this or that. You go to the wetland and you see red-winged blackbirds building their nest in the cattails. And you're like, oh, wow, they really do like cattail plants. And
right.
So you put that together first. And you start hearing the bluebird call. And you're like, what call is that? You match it to your bird caller and you're like, oh, it's a bluebird. So they like this area of the wetland. They don't like the forest as much. They didn't like the wetland area. They like the prairie zone. Oh. That's cool. I mean, science is empirical. It's observation.
Yes.
Science. So I asked one of my students, I'm like, what is science?
Yeah.
Explosions. And I knew she was going to say that. Kids think science is just exploding things.
Right.
And I'm like, no, science is just studying your environment. It's observing your environment.
Yeah.
And that's what I want them to learn. It's not about explosions.
Yeah.
It can be, but.
Well, yeah, can be. Having just the terminology, I think, is really important. Being exposed to it, ecology, and different systems or means of observing maybe specific types of plants. The language, it can be very limiting or it can be liberating.
Right.
I want to get a list because even things, mechanical engineer.
Mm-hmm.
I never heard that term in high school. Nobody was like, if you want to be a mechanical engineer, you should be in math, right? There were so many fields that are hyper specific.
Yes.
That unless you know they exist, you can't fine tune your tendencies to fit in where maybe you should early on.
It's so true. It's so true. Nobody was like, you can be an environmental scientist ever in high school.
No.
I was like, why do I like nature so much? Why do I want to, how can I do this? I knew about biology, but I really didn't want to be so molecular. I just wanted to be more conservation, save the planet. Nobody talked about conservation in high school to me. Nobody was talking about really the environment.
Right.
It was chemistry, biology.
Yeah. Mitochondria.
Mitochondria.
That's the...
Yeah. But I know those things are important. It's just, you're right. They don't open your eyes to all the opportunities out there.
And like you said, they're not empirical. You get some empirical in high school where you dissect things.
Right, right.
So much of our reality now is in the abstract and through vicariously experiencing things visually by our phone.
Oh, yeah.
And that empirical, hands-on knowledge is waiting for a lot of kids. And I think they have it satisfied in some idea that gets lost in how does it work for me? Like you said, like, where is it? How does it work for me? Like now as an adult, I wish I had a better understanding of why math is actually important. And if there was no empirical, when I was doing geometry, if I was building furniture, it would mean a lot more.
So true. There's no larger, as an educator, I try to make a larger theme out of a smaller study that they're examining, because I'm like, how am I going to catch them? Why are they going to care about physical and chemical changes? I mean, that's a topic I have to teach. They're like, oh, this again? To make them care, you have to kind of make a theme out of it. What are some great questions I can ask them? Like, do you think death is a physical or a chemical change? That's something they can really relate to and think about.
Right.
Even though that one's more extreme, but
right. Well, right, because it's when I'm going to school, they're like, "Do you like math?" And I'm like, "I don't think so. Like, I don't know." And really, I do like math. It's not just about abstract numbers. When you bring in the empirical and you realize there's no such thing as a perfect square, and you try to make a picture frame with some shitty saw, you learn real good where your abstractions meet reality, and you have to rectify that.
See, you're really good with all that stuff. You've always been great with art and just designing things. I was always fascinated with, like, how did you do that? Like, I would never be able to do what you do. And like, whenever you showed me things that you designed when we were younger, I was like, I would have never thought of that. Like, you've got that.
Thanks.
That math creativity, you see things in a very unique way.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean it.
I think that in high schools, and we have all these weird ideologies, and I don't want to get political, but
yeah,
it is very important, I think, for high school kids to be exposed to a variety of definitions.
Right.
Let it be Latin. Let it be the derivatives. So you start to tease apart the psychological construct of language. And nobody's forced to. And some people they find huge value in just going the opposite direction, where it's dancing or it's something that is so physically engaging. It cannot be confused with an idea. But the rest of society we're kind of all stuck in this gray. I know that. And I always go off on this tangent. People are like, yeah, I know. And I'm like, do you know how to make a 3-pointer? And they're like, well, yeah. I'm like, do you know it like Steph Curry knows it? Like, what does knowledge mean to you? Right? And just because you understand something abstractly without the empirical experience, it's a delusion.
It's so true. You have to apply the knowledge to a situation, or else you're going to lose it. You don't use it, you lose it.
Yes.
So I love how you're bringing that up. Like, you have to take your knowledge and then use it in a scenario. And it seems like you did that a lot with what you do.
Yeah, and it was always separate from school. They never got, the timing never lined up. So maybe as kids get older, and I think now where they let kids in like
Montessori?
Montessori.
Okay.
Where they let you lean into your proclivities.
Yeah. Yeah.
And whether that's part of school or not, it's up to every individual to figure out what those are and then take a pragmatic approach to experimenting with their preconceived concepts so they can be let down sooner than later and they can understand the way reality works more clearly earlier on. Because we are bamboozled by images.
No, it's so true. Oh my gosh, it's so true. I'm glad you brought this up. Because you know what's so funny in high school and at middle school and all that, and I'm seeing it as an adult now as a teacher. These systems reward, you got a good grade. Here's an award for you. Whatever, you did great on your report card. Here's a reward or here's an award. When you are an adult, that's not how life works. You are not rewarded for effort.
No.
You just aren't. I mean, in a lot of workplaces, you are not rewarded for effort. So most people will just strive their whole life and I'm going to be in high honor roll and do all this stuff. And this is how life works. And when I get out there, I'm still going to be rewarded for my high honor roll in high school. And I'm going to still be that great worker. But it's different. You got to be your best own cheerleader.
Yeah, it is different. Well, if say you're in medical and you get into school and you're used to all this stuff, and then all of a sudden you're hit with all of this emotional entanglement that was never a part of your school. You didn't have to deal intrapersonally with how other people felt and their triggers and what happens.
Right.
So the reality of how you're going to exist in your profession is I don't think something anybody can really understand ahead of time. It's always a leap of faith.
Well, yeah, because think about how the systems work in these school buildings or just schools themselves, whatever, you get it.
Yeah.
They, like collaboration is not tested. When you're on it, you're by yourself when you take a test.
Mm-hmm.
There's no collaboration.
Interesting.
So how are you going to collaborate in the workplace? We can now do a little group activity or a lab where you collaborate, but you're not tested on that.
Yeah.
So it's like, you're a kind person in the classroom. Do you have compassion? Do you have empathy? Yeah, you do. You're not tested on that though.
Right.
And all that is necessary to be able to survive in a workplace, to have compassion for people, to have empathy, to be able to collaborate and really try to integrate everybody's ideas.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what? So when I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No.
I just want to say one last thing. When my students, I see them on tests, maybe like, hey, I need help with that one or whatever. In my mind, I'm like, this is not cheating. This is actually collaboration. It's quiet collaboration. I'm going to pretend like I don't see it and I'm going to allow it. A lot of them aren't just trying to copy. It's like, I don't understand why, whatever. And then I just let it go.
Yeah.
They need to collaborate.
Right. They do. Team, extracurricular, sports, you're forced to collaborate. How you're supposed to collaborate, good methods for easy collaboration and easy communication, what it means to actually be understood, why it's important not to speak if no one understands you. None of that is discussed ever at all. And I don't know if we've had, I want to say, the luxury to be that sensitive to other people's emotions historically. We have that sensitivity in us, but it's almost a luxury for society to be empathetic. We're going to have the pain, but it's so much a human nature to just result to barbarism. And that's always kind of the underpinning. So when society reaches a place where we can be empathetic, we have to learn how to do that in the right ways. And obviously the way California tried to do it was wrong. Everybody left. Kids and parents were persecuted for weird sexual ideologies or gender or things. I don't know much about it, but it didn't work. Whatever happened there is a problem. It was a problem. It changed America to a degree, and people fled for whatever the reasons were. They left. So I think we really do need to look at what are good ways of being empathetic, what are bad ways of being empathetic. You don't want to be empathetic towards someone that's being a total monster to other people because they feel justified because they're blind to or they feel justified in their reasons. There's a lot of that in, I think, today's society that nobody really understands, and historically as well. And maybe it's something that we can start to say, yeah, we kind of do. We know. It's not just act and say how you should be treated, because when you're shown 1,000 pictures in a day, if that doesn't traumatize you, I mean, is the human psyche ready to look at 1,000 images a day? Like, it's an abstraction.
Oh my gosh.
It's not real. If I saw an image, it changes my physiology.
Yeah,
it changes my chemistry if I see something I didn't like. So I'm constantly being exposed to these chemical changes. And
yeah, because of all the technology and the social media, I totally know what you're saying. There's this motivational speaker. He had said something along the lines of, for every like if somebody says one negative thing to you, let's just attribute that to the image that you were referring to. One negative thing, you have to offset it with the 17 or 18 positive things.
oh wow,
like positive comments.
chemically.
Well, positive comments to yourself. Obviously, there's not going to be 18 people all of a sudden within 5 minutes to do that. So you really have to work on your own self-talk, because to offset negativity weighs heavily. It just does. And that's why we need to offset with much more positivity. It's so easy to gain weight. It's so easy to feel depressed. It's hard to get up and seize the day. I mean, we got to do it.
Yeah.
It's hard, but life's hard. Les Brown is one of my favorite motivational speakers. Les Brown. And he has one of the best speeches, Chase Your Dreams, Les Brown. But he's kind of like Martin Luther King. Love this guy. But he's like, you got to do it hard. Life's hard and you got to do it hard. That one right there, the Chase Your Dreams, that first one, that one is the best one. I listen to that probably twice a week. And I used it in one of my performances, one of my drum and dance performances to motivate students. But, you know, well, because a lot of kids say, I don't want to do this. I don't want to work. I'm like, you know what? You're not going to feel excited every single day. Do you think people are like, yes, I'm so excited to work out again for the 4th time today? A lot of days we get up and we're like, oh, I have to go run. Come on.
Right.
But by seizing that moment and saying, you know what, I'm just going to go do it, even though I feel awful. You grew stronger. Just that 1 second you grew stronger because you fought the negativity.
Yeah. You got up and you did it instead of sitting. And it's hard too, though, because there's such a culture for pick yourself up.
Yeah, I know.
And it's easy to hate on.
Yeah. Okay. I see what you're saying.
And it gets lost. But what you're saying is really true. It really is important to recognize that you are different. And I want to say chemically different, because you don't get the down-regulated inflammation if you don't run. You don't get oxygenation and all this. You don't get the physical. And I'm very much in the mindset that we need to take mental health and physical health as being two separate specific genres, with psychology on one side and biology on the other. And they need to come back together and marry each other. Because if you're giving somebody chemicals based on anecdotal information, that's not scientific. I'm sorry. It's just not scientific. It may be well thought and well planned and well considered, but unless you say, hey, we did a panel, you're depleted in X, Y, and Z chemicals, so we're going to supplement until we can start getting you to create them again on your own. Then there's some science happening there.
Right,
there's metrics that can be graded and rated, and you can see improvements.
Right.
But when you're just changing someone's chemistry because you're telling them they're no longer producing serotonin, they might be accurate, but it's somebody that doesn't have experience in chemical microbiology. It's someone that has experience in good conversation. So I think we need to bring those back together and just say that mental health and health are the same thing.
Come on, they coexist for sure. They don't exist without the other.
Yeah. And I think where they overlap isn't a big gray area. I think it's very finite and minute and rare specific case scenarios. And I think people now, they think it's like generally like, well, yeah, everyone has but no, if you run every day and you eat healthy and you practice having relationships, you will be a lot better mentally than you would be if you weren't. So that physical activity affects your mental health, but they say they're not the same. And I just don't understand. We have to think about the chemicals. So I'm very interested in the chemicals of mental health and physical health. And I don't know if it's just me pathologizing into my own life and what I think about mental health, and it's not a situation for other people. But I think it is. I think it's a societal situation, and I think it's going to be compounded with the phones and these images.
Oh my gosh. I know. Yeah. I know what you mean. Because you're talking about all this, I wanted to just bring it back to water for a second. Because, our body is what, 75% water? Or 75?
Something like that. Yeah.
Well, there was a study, which I'm sure you've heard about, but, a lot of, let's just refer to Buddhism for a second. Like, a lot of monks will pray to their water, because when you pray, the actual structure of the water changes, right? So when we're sending positive thoughts to the water, it's going to transform it. So if your body's 75% water and you're speaking negatively all day, you don't think that's going to affect you. Oh yeah, you're just a cup of water. I mean, you are a cup of water. So this one dude, he did a scientific study, and he actually showed what the water changes into when you speak positively to it. And it literally changes into snowflake shapes.
Yes.
Yeah. And yeah.
I think his name is
Moto or whatever, the snowflake shapes. But so now I will speak positive words to my water, and we let it sit. We'll do it, and then we let it sit out and drink it after 30 minutes. But my husband is, he's a practicing Buddhist, so he has mantras that he does, and I do. He taught me a lot of them, so I'll do them sometimes. I'm still, examining that realm of life, but I think it's pretty cool. And I've noticed that, I'll be honest, some of these mantras have helped me in my life.
Yeah.
Really. They have.
I believe it. Yeah, the metaphysical that you can explicitly witness and you can't deny is something I think worth always pushing to the front of these conversations. It feels like a dangerous place to start going into a lot of language with, because I don't think we understand it all that well.
Right.
And water has memory.
Yeah.
Genetic memory.
Right.
And humans have genetic memory.
Right.
And I have the ability to carve pretty decent, and I've never tried. And my great-grandfather was a very well-renowned carver.
That's cool.
So you wonder, and I think there is always a trade-off, and it is a mindset. I don't know how else to, I have so many thoughts about it that I don't know where to start speaking.
Okay. No, I get that. Yeah. I know, because I also had a whole thing just go through my head, and I'm like, wait, what? What was I going to say?
Putting positive intentions into your water. Now, here's the question I have. This is what I want to know, because I like to do experiment. Art, in my opinion, is an experiment. It's a guessing game to see what comes out.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, I'm not the type of artist that I don't pursue replicating what I see, because typically everything is there. All the information's already there.
Right.
So it doesn't take it takes a lot of skill, and it's a craft. But it doesn't take any creativity or imagination.
Okay.
And if you say to the water, I love you, with the wholehearted intention, it changes the metaphysical structure of the water. And it does. And water, when it freezes, it moves in it formulates into hexagonal patterns.
Yeah.
From chaos, which is why it expands. So it gets more, it becomes larger physically.
Right. Yeah.
But if you were to say, now this is what I want to try, I want to take his experiment to the next step. If you say in a loving way, I hate you, what happens to the water?
Oh, in a loving way.
Yeah.
Man, that's a good question, because you're like, okay, let me just try it. If I was like, I hate you.
Can't do it. It's almost hard to do, right?
Yeah, like, I hate you. Yeah, because hate is associated with
A
like a negative connotation.
Because you understand what the word hate means.
Right.
So,
And I think the universe, I know this seems insane, but I think the universe itself has an understanding of words in every language. I think it does. You know why? Because think about it like this. I'll just go back to like the whole Buddhist example. The mantras that have been used for so long, the same mantras for the same purposes.
Mhm.
So I'm just going to give an example. I don't even know if we can talk about this, but
You can talk about whatever you want.
I was just going to say that there's a medicine Buddha mantra,
Okay.
and you can use that you can say it to help others who might be sick or not doing well. You have a broken leg or you're sick with a disease, and it's really used to heal others.
Okay.
Now you could use it on yourself as well, but really the whole point is to help the whole planet feel better, you know? So where am I going with this? There was a whole reason why I brought this up.
The mantras and
mantra.
putting positive intention into things
Yeah.
and utilizing that. And you're seeing it active in.
So I think because it's been used for thousands of years, people keep using it for the same purpose. The universe somehow comes to an understanding of, oh, this mantra is used to heal. These people here communicate every day to meet in a circle and use it to heal others that are sick. It's like the universe recognizes that. So when you use it, it's powerful. Like the universe knows it.
Yeah.
I know this seems insane, but I've used it on this. This is crazy. I had a really bad accident with my leg. I was out in the mountains and I couldn't move my calf. I was camping. It was kind of a bad situation.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I'm just going to go ahead and use this mantra. I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to say it over and over and over. I woke up. I did not feel one thing in my leg. And I know that seems nuts, but if it works, try it again.
If it works, I'll be as nuts as a bag of pistachios. You know what I mean? No, but right? If it works for you, and whether that physically is the case or not, it doesn't really matter. But I'm pretty sure if you looked at it historically, you would find a pattern of results.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's why it's still around.
Exactly.
And I wonder too, to this degree, because it's an experiment, I thought that too. It was really hard for me to say, I hate you in a loving way or all these things, because I was trying to think about, it really, I'd like to think. And what if I gave you this, the words, I hate you in a language that wasn't yours, so you didn't know what it meant?
Right.
Would then you be able to flip the intent? So I've really been looking into an electron microscope's like 10 grand.
Oh my gosh.
I want to know.
Yeah.
I want to take, maybe I take this electron microscope to an art fest and I say, hey, you want to see what your love looks like? Let's freeze that shit and I'll send it to you.
I wanted to do the same thing.
Right?
No, I literally, this is not nuts. I wanted to do the same thing.
I know. But then I wanted to test it. I want to see it. I want to take it further.
Right.
I want to see what's really causing it. And then can you move without words and intention? How does that change it? And you're starting to document it, but they do know if you exercise, right? You have, let's say you exercise, you have a 20% muscle growth over the course of a month of daily activity, just a hypothetical metric. If you, for an hour a day after meditation, think about your muscles and growing and meditate on the activities and pushing yourself further, you will get better results without doing the work.
It's true.
It's a scientifically true thing.
Yeah, I've seen podcasts on that.
So where are we in society? We're kind of at a place that's starting to understand the science of miracles. Yeah, that's where we are.
Or we're just spirits in a material world.
Yeah.
Just
but
like
the
Police's song, Spirits in a Material World, one of my favorite songs. Now it all makes sense.
Who is it? The Police in a
Yeah. Spirits in
a material world.
Yeah, in a material world by the Police.
Yeah. It's like
Such a good song.
now, right?
Spirits in a material world are spirits. It's really good.
But high science is not short of magic, right? Like if you showed your grandma this when she was little,
Yeah.
she would think you were a magician if she didn't, know.
Oh, right.
Right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
So our science in molecular technology and nanotechnology is, I feel like, somehow starting to play with metaphysics because we have quantum computing.
Right.
So we are in that realm of metaphysics, and I think that's kind of where maybe synchronicities or pathologies lead to synchronicities, or there's some form of magic or miraculous tendencies that propagate from that level of density.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't understand how to decipher it, play with it, or discover it, but in the topics we discuss, we see a pattern of it.
Yeah.
And I think we are getting to the place where we are really going to start to be able to understand the science of miracles.
Yeah. Or just the science behind spirituality.
Yes.
Because
science behind spirituality.
Because really, what is science again? Let's get back to that.
Yeah.
It's what we've come to understand at this point, right? But that's not the end. Science never ends. We start learning new things all the time.
Yeah.
So
it's also what we decided. Like we chose that's what it was.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. In a way, I see what you're saying. But soon we're going to have better technology to be able to, maybe we're going to have technology in 100 years where we can see ghosts everywhere.
Oh, wow.
And it's like, I don't know how to put it. It's science isn't separate. I don't consider science separate from spirituality. It's just, we haven't found all the tools yet to be able to explore the spiritual world fully.
Yeah. Through a scientific lens.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
But,
So
yeah.
when people try to separate like religion and science or whatever, it's like, we're talking all about everything. It's just, I feel like it's all the same thing.
Yeah. No, it is.
Like
it is, because when you ask people, if you show them things like this and you say, well, what do you think about this, about your words? I mean, you can't deny it. It's real.
Right.
And so much of religion, you're expected to have this faith, which I don't disagree with.
Oh, right. Of course.
But it's hard to have faith in some things that maybe aren't real. Like I don't want to accidentally be believing in things that aren't real.
I love that we're having this talk. I love that because this is where my scientific mind goes all the time. And my husband, he'll kind of talk about what he's studying with in the Buddhist realm and stuff. And I love it because I love learning about all of that. But like you, I do have trouble sometimes just saying, I just believe this or I just believe that. I want to like study and observe and do my own tests and see, it's just, I have that more analytical approach. I want to take the notes and see the research and.
Yeah. I don't want to offend other people.
Oh, of course not.
But it's hard for me to get on board with things that I can't rationalize through science.
But now,
I don't find value in that.
I'm not opposed now to trying things. Like I said, those mantras and stuff, because now that I'm trying it, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do it. I'm going to try it. And they start working. And I'm like, wow. So I'm testing. These are my tests, right? I'm testing out.
Right.
And they're working for me. So there's got to be some
validity there.
Yeah.
Well, there is have you ever seen or heard where, I think it's in Buddhism, where someone's sick or has a tumor and they maybe it's the same mantra. They sing around this person and physically have been able to document ailments shrinking and disappearing, dissolving, being broken down.
Yeah, totally believe it.
Within a short period of time.
Yeah.
The scary thing with AI is kind of that if we get too far into it, we don't know what's real and what's not anymore. Like right now, we know that water test is real. because we believe it. We don't have to see it. We know that there's enough separation
right.
between what it takes to make a fake. But in 10 years to make a fake or to make up a story and make it seem believable,
I know.
it's just going to all be hidden again.
Oh man, I know this AI stuff's really been messing with my head, but I don't know, everybody else's mind too. But there was something that you had said about the mantras around. Oh, that wanted me. I know we're probably gonna end soon, but I wanted to bring up the fasting. Do you fast?
Oh, I'm not gonna say.
You're not gonna say?
No.
Okay, that's all right. I've been experimenting with different fasts. And I went up to 36 hours, and I want to heal something that I have an issue with. And the 36-hour point, you can get into like the muscular skeletal issues, injuries.
Mm-hmm.
And I was really hoping to cure something that's been going on with me. I'm still dealing with it, but I've noticed that fasting did almost alter something on a spiritual level. Where I wasn't tolerating stuff that I was tolerating before. I was like almost transcending the person that I had been. It's like, no, you don't tolerate that garbage anymore.
Yeah.
You've been fasting. You're purifying, and so is your spirit.
Yep.
And now you're going to be starting to set up boundaries that you didn't have for yourself before. I don't know if that's happened to you, but I think fasting is such a beautiful thing. The amount of people that have been cured of cancer and diseases from fasting is just, it's astronomical.
Yeah. I agree. I think it is probably the basis of a lot of religions. It's in every religion. It's not practiced the way it used to be.
It's so healthy.
Yeah. I do think that. Can I say something about that?
Yeah.
I think the reason that there is clairvoyance in fasting, and I think it takes so much physical energy and consciousness. It takes your conscious energy to break down food, to break down complex carbohydrates. The worse the food is for you, the more of your consciousness it takes up.
That's true.
Whether it's your spotlight intentional consciousness or just the bandwidth. Like, I wouldn't say that I'm consciously beating my heart, but it takes consciousness, in my opinion. It takes electromagnetic impulse that's part of what I'm generating, and it's using calories. And so when you have none of that in you, you, like you said, you can be more pure. And these subtle things really change our personality. And I was talking with this about my wife the other day, and I don't want to get too far off in the woods with it.
Yeah, that's okay.
I know you have to leave. The idea of drugs and chemicals and all this stuff is whatever it is.
Yeah.
But if you drink coffee, you act different. Most people do.
Yeah.
Or they say, I need my coffee or whatever.
Right.
That's just something simple like coffee.
Right.
If you act different, that means it changes your personality.
Yeah.
So your personality is heavily dictated by your diet.
Yeah.
And if you don't have anything in your diet except water, then you can be yourself.
It's so true. So true. Yeah.
And if you haven't been yourself for a long time, when you see yourself, you really appreciate it and you know how to be treated, and you see through everything immediately because you're yourself.
It's so true.
I think it's a biophysical. I think it's a physical thing. So yes, I do agree with you. I think it's hugely beneficial if you can do it, if someone has the wherewithal. I don't want to tell anybody to do anything ever if I can avoid it. Right. I did find myself in a situation once where I was not eating for a very long period of time. And I involuntarily saw the value in it, and it brought me to states of happiness that I didn't know existed without it. And it became very scary for me. because I started
okay.
to think that if I pursued that state of happiness enough, that ultimately it would result in me dying, because the ultimate happiness is death, because that's true peace.
Mm.
And that scared the shit out of me.
Okay. Okay.
And
Yeah.
and it's probably supposed to, right?
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
but it does give you something that I did not experience throughout my life up to that point.
mm-hmm.
So whether I fast now, that's not to say, but I did it in the past, and it was it was a spiritual thing. It was spiritual. That's what I'll say. That's trying to bring it back, trying to stay on topic.
Spiritual thing. Yeah, spiritual thing.
It was easy to identify that as spirituality.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's so true. I'm glad you said that, because going into fasting, I wasn't thinking in spiritual terms. I was just like, I'm just going to help my body. And then I definitely had a spiritual experience. So it's much more spiritual than we make it out to be. Because, people just talk about it. This is what your body's going to do when you fast,
Right.
There's nothing really spiritual discussed.
Right. Right.
Yeah. So there was something else I wanted to say, though. I know we're ending, but it was about fasting. And, one thing, just because we were on the topic of death, if you don't mind, just one last thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, my mom had passed in 2019. It
Yes.
was March of 2019. And, of course, I'm still navigating the spiritual world and what my beliefs are and all that. So I can preface this whole thing with that. But I still listen to what my husband shares with me, and I try to apply a lot of what he's learning to my life to see how I react and how I feel and everything. But he had told me, just something that they believe, which is like if somebody passes, they have around maybe like 30-ish days in Bardo to decide what they're going to do, like how they're going to transition. And it's just something that I remembered. I didn't really think about much.
Yeah.
And so my mom had passed in March. And then, of course, that first month, I'm grieving. This first 30 days, a month, I'm grieving really bad. There's one night, I was just like, the end of the month. And I walked over at Turner Pond in Roselle, and I was just sobbing my eyes out, crying and crying and crying. And it just wouldn't stop. It was like the worst day of the month, right? Like out of all the days.
Yeah.
I'm like, I must need to get something out. That morning, my bedroom, I couldn't open my eyes. My whole bedroom was lit up like the sun. And there were, I know this seems nuts, but there were orbs, just like bright yellow orbs flying around everywhere, and bells were ringing, like loud but welcoming bells. And I couldn't open my eyes fully, but it was all there. It was in my bedroom at 2:10. It was all there. And it was like a 10-minute show. I kid you not. This was happening. It has never happened to me in my life. And then it all just fizzled away. And I thought, that was my mom. I felt my mom there the whole time. She was transcending. I know it. She transcended.
Yeah.
She was just like, this is it. I love you so much. I'm transcending. I'm letting you know. I'm visiting the room. I'm still around.
That's beautiful.
And I remembered, it's not like I had been thinking about Bardo in the 30 days, but it was around the 30-day mark.
Interesting.
It's so cool.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I guess I just wanted to say, don't be afraid of passing away. There's great things out there that are going to happen.
Thank you. I've always been afraid of it. And
Me too. Yeah. So
that's awesome. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people can relate to situations like that they aren't allowed to speak about because who's around them.
Yeah.
Right.
And
it's very valid and it's very true.
Yeah. And I don't want anyone to think on this podcast that I'm coming from any specific religious angle or political angle or anything. I'm just here to tell you, don't be afraid of death and save the planet.
Thank you very much, Katie. I hope you come on
Yeah.
again. It was nice to
Thanks.
see you.
Yeah, hopefully some of these projects that I'm working on will manifest and
Maybe I
can
could
talk
come
again.
visit you
yeah,
in Africa or something.
or even down to the Florida Springs.
Maybe in the Florida
you and
Springs.
your family can come down and we'll take you on an adventure. That's for sure.
That sounds awesome. Cool.
Thank you for having me. You're amazing. This is so cool that you set all this up. Like, you rock.
Thanks.
You're the rock star, Jono.
Thank you. I'll see you soon.
Okay.
Bye.
Papa.
Thank you everyone for watching. See you soon.